Right, I'm just getting this ready for primer. I've done a last tiny bit of work. So what I've done is I forgot to mention this two updates ago. I've done the back edge of the support now, and I've sanded it inside. It's not 100% perfect, but it'll do, and it looks really good. Now, if you remember when I said there was a massive gap in there, it's all open. What I've done is I've just got a bit of clear plastic, very thin clear plastic from a VisiPack, from maybe a controller, Xbox controller or something, and I've just measured it out and then folded it over there and folded it over at the back, and that is now covering up that gap. I've also drilled in the barrel, and I've also done that repair to the when I'd screwed up with the Dremel. I've also repaired that with some milliput. So I'm outside now and I'm just about to spray this with a primer. Okay, I've now primered the pulse rifle. The primer's gone down really well. I've got a few touch-ups here and there, but generally it is looking absolutely fantastic. What I also did, I put some sponge in the mag, and I put a bit of cardboard in because I wanted some primer to get in there, just a little bit, just around this little lip here and on the other side here. I've also masked off, put some electrical tape there. When it comes to the actual cocking arm, as it were, what you do is you pull it back and cock it fully, then spray paint that area with the primer, and then once that's dry you push it back and then you fire it, and on the other side as well, and then you just paint this area once that's back into the normal position for the handle. One thing I haven't checked is these buttons. Yep, they're still pressed. I thought they might have been a bit stiff, but yeah. The only thing I haven't spray painted inside is the actual ejector cover, from when you would cock that and the bullet would come out the side. So I've still got to do the inside of there, so that's all still yellow. But inside all there is all primed. Turning the rifle over. Same on that side as well. It's gone down really well. Not bad at all. Through there, it's one thing I haven't looked at. Yep, it's not looking too bad. And the trigger, yeah, that's not looking too bad either, to be honest. Not bad at all. So, with that being said, this is now ready for the paint now. Right, I've ordered some 3D printed bits off the internet, and they've all arrived now. So, if you remember in the first video, I said I was going to get some 3D printed bullets. Well, I have done. So, I'll explain that first. So, let me put that down. Level that off a bit. So, I've got a bag of bullets. The original seller, I couldn't find him. You know, the guy who was selling the pack of 4. So I managed to find another guy named Craig, really nice bloke, and he's printed me 10 of them off. And another 9 of them in that bag. Now these are the same size as my Nerf foam bullets. Actually, I might be best off turning the flash on, to be honest. Let's turn that on. Right, there we go. So they are so pretty much the same size as the Nerf foam bullets. Them like moulded in like a what looks like a silver plastic, very light, not too heavy. So that's those. Right, so put that back in there. I will show you in the mag once they're all painted. So just put the mag to one side for a moment. Right, now the next two items I got the inspiration for these from that Models by Chris. First off, I picked up a sliding bolt, which is a replica, 3D printed version of the Thompson sliding bolt. Because in the film, the actual firing pulse rifle is based on a Thompson M141, I believe. And what Models by Chris did, you see this here? That would be where the bolt slide goes. But it's not very good. So what Models by Chris did, he went online, he's either from America or Canada, and he managed to pick up one of these, but an actual Thompson slide bolt from an actual Tommy gun. Well, I'm based in the UK and we've got gun laws over here, so I wouldn't be able to get one. So the same guy who made me those, Craig, again, fully nice bloke, I asked him if he could get me one of these 3D printed. He says, I'll find the STL file, Wayne, and I'll have a look at it. He's had to resize it slightly. So he's printed me off a full one. Models by Chris had a full metal one, and he actually cut it at the neck there, just above my finger, and he put it on there. What he did is he cut all that off, sanded it down, and drilled it in and installed it. So that's what he would have had left. Just that. So that is the same size as the actual Nerf moulded one. So I'll cut all this off, I'll sand it down, and I'm going to get this screw that came, because that screws that onto there, and I'll put the screw through that hole there, and then I'll drill a hole in there for the screw and then glue it on. Right, so that's that. So that's going to be more movie accurate. So putting those to one side. Another issue I had was the plate on the bottom of the mag. Now if you look at the Aliens, watch the Aliens film, which I've watched it multiple times just for that one scene with Ripley and the pre-drop scene, that isn't supposed to have a beveled edge. That is supposed to go up like that and meet the bottom of the actual mag and then point down and come out. So again, I asked Craig, I said, is there any chance you could get me one of these? Because Models by Chris, again, he either lives in America or Canada. There's an eBay seller in the US that sells this movie accurate, one of these. And what he's done on the underneath there, in the film, the actual pulse rifle is made by a company called Armat, based in Michigan. And what the eBay seller has done in America, he's actually engraved it all in Armat Industries, M141A pulse rifle, someplace in Michigan, and it's like moulded into that, dribbled into it. Craig said he couldn't replicate that, but that's fine, because in the film it's supposed to be like plain anyway. So basically what that'll do is that will fit into that, and it's going to be more square instead of beveled. Craig's also he's given me one of these. He wants me to try this out as a replacement for the Nerf, so if anybody has bought one and it gets broke, they can actually get a Nerf one if they want one, which is the same size. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unscrew that, because there's 4 screws. I've got to unscrew that and take that off and slip it into there. Right, so I've took all the 4 screws out, and now I've got to try and prise this off there. Oh, that comes away. So you just pull that away like that, and then there's 4 locking tabs. Is it 4 locking tabs? No, it looks like it's 2. There's one there just in front of my screwdriver, and there's one there, so I've got to snap those off to get this to slide off. So I'm just going to pause this a sec. Right, so what I did is I pulled that up to there. I've cut the little tabs off, on the side, and that will just slip straight off. There we go. So that's off now. So if I put that back on there, that is the same size as that. Let's turn the flash on. Right. Oh, I've just noticed something. So what Craig's done is left them things in there. I don't think that's going to fit in there with that on. Right, because this is the first time I haven't took this off yet, so this is the first time I'm seeing it. So let's have a look. Right, so that won't go in there because of that. Them two catches there. Right, it looks like it will fit, but I'm gonna have to give Craig some feedback and tell him not to put those in, because that will slide on there. So what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to take these out. I'm going to have to Dremel these out, but it looks like it'll fit. I mean, if I just turn the camera up a bit more, there we go. It looks like it'll fit. So I've just got to take them little notches out. So we'll see what happens. Right, it looks like Craig's got to go back to the drawing board. With that on top of there, that's your original Nerf one. That is 17mm deep. Tape picking it up because the metal ruler, but that's 17mm deep. And you can see the line is where that should be. But that is only 10mm deep. Let me just pop that out. Because what I've done is I've Dremeled the side pieces out. So I'll have to tell Craig not to include those. And that is only... Let's turn the camera off. I don't know if it's... That is only 10mm deep. So Craig needs to deepen that. So that's some feedback I've got to give to Craig. But it fits an absolute treat once I've Dremeled them sides out. Fits an absolute bloody treat. Right, just a tiny update because I've done a tiny bit of work. So just close that a minute. So I've, you know that raised ring that's supposed to represent the Thompson bolt? I've cut all that off and sanded it down. So I just got my cutters, went round, cut off as much as I could. Got my needle file, sanded that right down to the fascia. And then with my fine sanding paper, just give it a quick fine sand just to get rid of those last few shards and make it nice and smooth. So that's all ready. There's my screw into my Thompson bolt. So that screw will go in that hole all the way in, and then just pop that on there. And then I've obviously got to screw that screw all the way down inside the bolt, and then that'll look like that. A hell of a lot more realistic Thompson bolt. So I've got to re-primer that. Sorry, I've got to primer that. I've got to primer the inside of the slide ejector lid for, you know, any bullets that are jammed in the mag. That's got to come out. And I've also noticed something as well. When I primered this, I'm pulling that right back, and I noticed a 5mm ring all the way around that I missed. So that's got to be shot with the primer, and I've obviously got to cover that screw hole up as well. But once that last bit of priming's been done, this will be ready for paint. Getting ready to put the first coat of paint down, which will be the black. So I've just spent literally 2 hours, if you can believe it, masking all this up with my masking tape. So all that around the butt there, all around the handle, all around the sliding plate, and the cocking mechanism and the actual main barrel. But it has been a good 2 hours. It's worth it. So get my big fat finger out the way. There you go. So especially getting in the nooks and crannies as well. So what I've been doing, where's that gone? So getting around the nooks and crannies, I've been pushing it in with my knife edge and my tweezers and my scalpel. Just trying to get right in the edges there. And underneath as well, and leaving the trigger exposed and the other trigger exposed with the grip handle. So with that being said, this is now ready for the first coat of paint.